Hi, folks. Welcome to class May 2nd. This is Thursday. And you should be listening to this video on your own device. You can fast forward to wherever we left off on Wednesday. Probably be different in every class. We are just going to finish the notes that we started yesterday. Want to have those out and ready. Want to remind you that your IXL skills are due tomorrow, so make sure you get those submitted. Tonight's assignment will be the first assignment you've really had all week. And for some of you, you may have a lot of time in class, so hopefully you're able to get that done in class or a majority of it done in class, and then you can be working on those IXLs. I'm going to start this video from the very beginning, so if you were absent on Wednesday or you need a refresher or go back over, you can do that. So we want to begin by discussing the Desmos activity that we did in class on Tuesday. It was the translation Desmos, and it said match each shape if possible and one at a time using the translation coordinate rule. Some of you really struggled knowing what a rule looks like, so a couple of things. The rule has to be in parentheses. One set of parentheses, not one set for X, one set for Y, and you say what you are doing to the X and Y values to take this figure here in black outline and trying to match it to these various other items. Hopefully you realize that we could move this L shape to here by moving it up and to the right. We could move it to here by moving it up and to the left, but we cannot match this item because it's flipped over and there's no way to slide it around. As we are going to see in our notes, a translation is when you slide the figure from one place to the other. So how you figure that out is just pick any point. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick this point here in the L. In the corner there, but I could pick any point on that L, and I'm going to figure out what happened to it in terms of the X's. So it went from 1 to 4, so that means it was X plus 3, and it went from 1 to 2, so that means it was Y plus 1. That was the rule translation. In transformation 3 here, it was giving you this original ABC, and it asked you to give the point, and I think it said don't type the parentheses because it counted it wrong, but basically this is saying you're going to go right 4 units, so I'm at -2, so I'm going to be at +2, and I'm going to go up 5 units, so I'm going to be way up here, which I think would put me at 2, 6. I would have to put it in parentheses, but I don't think the Desmos can read that, and so it just had you creating those and analyzing those, and if you got through the whole investigation and we're like, okay, I understand this now, then today's notes are going to be really easy for you. Okay, so we are going to talk about translations. I've got some pictures of people sliding in various places because a translation is a slide. Okay, this week and next week we are going to be studying what we call transformations, and transformations are changes in a figure. I don't know if you are a fan of the Transformers franchise. I'm not a super fan of Transformers, but the Transformers change, from Bumblebee to he's a robot to a car and so forth. And the word transformations in mathematics means the same thing. We're going to change things from one figure into another. And so we are going to look at 3 of them this week and 1 the next week after that. The 3 that we are going to look at over the next few days are the translation, the reflection, and the rotation. And I want you to put out to the side in these notes, these are what we call congruence transformation, meaning they keep everything the same. The picture will look different, but the size, the area, the perimeter, the figures, measurements will be intact. They will be congruent. So we're going to change the way it looks. We're going to change its location on a grid. We're going to change it, but it's going to stay the same. Okay, today's focus is translation. This is the one that gets confused because they both start out with trans here. But translation, I always focusing on the SL, is a transformation that moves every point in a figure the same distance in the same direction, also known as a slide. Okay, the figure you get after this transformation is the image. So some important vocab word. When you go to do your online assignments, it's going to say give the image or give the pre-image or the original and the image. Image is the new. Make sure you make that connection. Sort of like when you look at your self in a mirror, your image is not you. It's the new picture of you after looking there. Okay. And then finally, and this was in the Desmos, and I don't know if you picked up on it, but it's called prime notation, and A prime identifies an image point. Okay, so A prime says it matches the A, the original would be A, and this would be the new spot after you've slid it around. Okay, and it is prime notation. And so we will have A prime. Sometimes if we make 2 changes, we'll have A double prime. If you make 3 changes, you can have A triple prime. So be aware of that. So here you've got some examples. Translation is a figure which it slides, but it does not turn. It does not flip. Every point moves the same direction. So you've got a couple pictures here of what slides can look like. Tell whether the blue figure is a translation of the red. So this is the original, and this is the new. And so the question is it possible to slide this and make it match? And hopefully we agree that this one is a yes. And on B, if this is the original, there is no way to get there to that one, so B would be a no. So a couple of your homework problems are just yes or no answers. Obviously, if you get it wrong, the other one's correct. But please take close attention on if you do get it wrong when you're doing the check to why it's wrong so that you don't make that mistake again. Okay, let's talk about translating points and figures. If you're going to translate a shape, you're going to translate each vertex using the prime notation, connect the new ones. So we're going to translate each point 3 right, 2 up. So here you're going to give the new coordinate. So basically just start at A, count 3 to the right, up 2, place a new point, call it A prime. Don't forget the label so we know who matches where. Going to do B, up 2. A and B are on the same horizontal line, and A prime and B prime are as well. D is going to go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and up 2. And that's going to be D prime, and C prime is going to go 3 to the right and up 2. It's going to land at the origin. Then I'm going to connect those. And I should have the exact same figure. Again, congruence, same size, same perimeter, same area. Be able to give those locations. This is going to be at -1, 3. And B prime is going to be at 2, 3. And C prime is at the origin. Don't forget that. And D is at -1, 0. Make sense? You try number 2. Pause the video, and once you have that done, check to see how you did. Going 2 left and 5 down. Make sure you do not forget your prime notation. M prime would be at -5, 1. And N prime would be at 1, 1. And P prime would be at 1, -1. All right, next thing you've got to be able to do is to describe a translation from two figures. Describe it in words, and then we're going to put it into rules. You're always going to make sure you start with the original and find the horizontal, and then find the vertical, right? So you want to figure out how is it changing in X. The horizontal is going to be up or down. Oh, Mrs. Kearns, that's an error. I'm glad I picked up on that and didn't leave that. The horizontal is not going to be up or down. The horizontal is going to be left or right. Hopefully you are following that if it's a left, it'll be a negative. If it's a right, it'll be a positive. The vertical change will be up or down. And up will be a positive, down will be a negative. So the biggest issue kids make a mistake on here is not knowing which one to start with. Your brain naturally is going to want to start with whatever's on the left or at the top. But as you see here, that has the prime notation. So we are starting here and we are traveling to there. Here to here, here to there, here to there. So the question is, how do we describe that? And you don't have to find it for all of them. Whatever's happening at one is what's going to happen at all of those. So let's count it up here from A. I'm going left 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. So that would be left 4 from A to A prime. And then I'm going to be going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 6. And if you're describing that in words, that would be a description. If you're going to write the rule, as we're going to do in the next one, you would say, how would I describe left for the x's? That would be x and minus 4 because left is negative. And up 6 would be y plus 6. And that is the rule that's being described by what we call this arrow notation rule. And this arrow notation says, take your original point, xy, and slide it to this amount. And this is what we were just talking about in the last one. So if you're looking at this without a graph, you can still say, if I start at 7 and I go to 5, did I go left or right? Hopefully everybody's saying left. So that would be x minus 2. And if I started at 2 and I finished at 6, from 2 to 6 would definitely be up, y plus 4. So you can do this on a grid, or you can do this without a grid. You can just calculate it. Hopefully we all agree if you had to do this in words, this would be left 2 and up 4. Try number 5 together. If I'm going from 5 to 8, hopefully we all agree that's going right. So that's going to be xy changes to x plus 3 because I'm going right. And I'm going from negative 1 to 1, so I'm going up 2, y plus 2. Pause the video. You try 6, 7, and 8. Restart it when you have those done. From negative 3 to 0 would be x plus 3. From negative 1 to 5, and if you're having trouble, you can always sketch it. If I'm at negative 1 and I go to negative 5, I'm definitely going down. Y minus 4. From 0 to negative 5 is going to be x minus 5. And from 4 to 10, I'm going y plus 6. And from negative 2 to negative 4 means x is going left 2. And from 3 to 7, it's going up 4. So left 2 would be minus 2, y plus 4. So you got to be able to read it. You got to be able to graph it. You've got to be able to say it in words, say it with the rule, understanding that prime notation are the new points. Okay? Today's assignment is in your online textbook. It is assignment number 121, I do believe. Let me double check here. It is in your online textbook. There's nothing to turn in other than, I'm sorry, it is assignment 120. There's nothing to turn in there for this other than a screenshot with your score. There's no work. You'll be working and graphing and doing everything right on your iPad. We are going to take our unit test over this on the iPad, so it's very important that you get used to graphing and checking your graph, plotting those points, erasing them if you make an error to make a change. Hope you're having a good day. I will be back tomorrow. Make sure you have your iPad with you. We are going to be using those in class tomorrow. And make sure you have your IXL done. Have a great day.